What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. What's up, everyone? We're here for another episode of Next Level Thinking, where we keep people inspired and take it to the next level. As you know, it's your host, Chris Holmes, always giving you great guests, and my special guest by the name of
Adrienne Lewis.
Awesome. So go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
Well, Chris, I am 37 years old.
Don't look it.
I don't look it?
No.
Great. And I have 4 children.
Okay.
Ages 17, 13, 11, and 4. They keep me on my toes. I stay busy with them.
All
And I am a small business owner
Mm-hmm.
of Rabbit Twisted T-Shirt Studios here in Huntsville, Texas.
Okay, represent 936.
936 all day.
So, like, what got you into the business, and what is it like about?
Well, Rabbit Twisted really happened just by accident, I guess you could say.
You just fell into your lap.
It just pretty much fell into my lap. My best friend, he was doing T-shirts for motorcycle clubs in Houston, and I was bored, and he needed help. So he showed me the ropes, and then I kind of created my own ropes, and he didn't have any more time to do it, so he was like, hey, you just pick up the slack. And I started doing shirts, and people would see them and like them and ask me to do them. So I just set up office in my bedroom, and
Boom.
yeah.
And that's how it starts, you know, like, well, I'm getting all these demands and people asking, so we gotta make this roll somehow. Like, make a room.
Pretty much.
Like,
And now I grew my bedroom, so now I'm in Huntsville.
Alright, that's great.
Yeah.
So, like, with that said, what are some challenges that you face as you continue to grow?
I would say competition, but not really.
Not really?
Not really.
It's that confidence.
Yeah,
not
my
really.
mindset is totally different from anybody else's, I believe. But some of the challenges would really be just probably getting out there, you know. Just having the lack of time to really promote myself.
Oh,
So right now,
family and all
well,
that.
right now it's I have a pretty big clientele, and then a lot of word of mouth. So I'm stuck in my office most days, just completing my orders I already have, and not able to go out and market.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably my biggest challenge.
So that's like a shout out for anybody who does marketing. She's gonna be looking for you.
I need a marketer. I
But
need some
even
help.
more, that's a good problem to have.
It is a good one. Thank you, Lord. You know.
But with that said, like, I'm going more into like your backstory, like the roots. So we got that idea of the business and things like that. So tell a little bit more about yourself. Like, who is this lady?
Oh, okay. Well, growing up, I always felt like I was out of place.
Okay.
With all my cousins, my brothers, I always felt out of place, and I just never fit in. When I started school, I didn't fit in, and I could never understand why I couldn't fit in. But my mind was always different from everybody else's. But I do remember saying around 8 years old that I wanted to have my own business, and that I would name it Rabbit Twisters. Rabbit Twisters is something my grandfather used to call all of his grandkids.
So that's where the name pretty much came from.
That's where the name
So
came
now
from.
it all makes sense.
Yes, and I put a twist on it, and you get your shirts Rabbit Twisted.
Okay.
And once you get twisted, you stay twisted. So.
There ain't no unraveling on that.
No, you just want to go back to anybody else. Sorry for being confident, but that's
Hey, I'm not
how
mad
I
at
have
that.
to be.
Hey, you got to. So I want to go into that a little bit more. Like, why is it important to stay confident within yourself? Because I feel, especially with women, they hear all different kind of criticism and they kind of lose confidence within themselves. So why is it important that you stay true and confident within your abilities?
Well, so that fear can't take over.
Okay.
I've kept myself from doing a lot of different things because I was afraid to fail.
Okay.
And the older I got, the more mature my mindset got, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna step out on faith.
Do it.
So what I did was I pounced on my dreams, and here I am, you know, a business owner, and my business is continuing to grow and be bigger than what I ever could have thought it would be, just even right now. And I still think I'm kind of small, but yeah, you just have to just don't give in to fear. And trust God. That's
Yes.
what I do.
It's always good to have faith because, you know, it's always that when the people that actually make it seem like the impossible is possible, and they break through. Later on, they're a genius.
Absolutely.
Exactly, or that ground taker person that everybody looks up to because it's impossible. Oh, they actually didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just have to hold on to it. You have to keep pressing for your mark, because if you don't have something to look forward to, then what are you living for? Yeah.
Purpose.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm gonna go and take a small little break, and then we go further into it and more in depth of her and some other things.
Sounds good.
All right. Welcome back from a little break. We're going to go a little bit more into details of this wonderful woman. But I think we should hit more, and you told me a little bit earlier about like domestic violence.
Yes.
And we know like this affects a lot of families and things like that. And I feel like from your own personal story and then, the ladies will be able to relate to that. So like, what can you tell them to help them get through their own struggles? How much more?
Well, the way I got through it, I mean, it was a difficult time, trying to understand why I was going through that from somebody that was supposed to love me more than anybody else. But for me, I have faith.
Okay.
And I prayed to God a lot about this situation. And I held on to my prayers in hopes that they would be heard. And eventually they were heard. But for other women, I would say, as soon as you can get out, get out. Don't listen to the I love yous, I'm sorries, I won't do it again, because it's a lie. If they do it one time, then they'll do it again. And for me, it started with a mental abuse. Then it started with verbal, and then it went to verbal abuse, and then the ultimate physical abuse.
That's when you guys gives a really kind of shape. And you hit on a lot of, one good point is like, it's almost like you know you're in that situation, but you keep telling yourself, but he's not, or he or she's not like that.
And I went through that because at a point in our relationship, I was isolated from my family. Like, he made sure that I didn't talk to my brothers, my mom, my dad. It was just him that I could rely on and talk to about things, and he used that against me. I mean, it went so far as to I wasn't even allowed to get a job and keep a job because he wanted to know where I was at all times.
So you felt like you were just in this cage. You couldn't really do what you needed to.
Exactly. And I would stay home all day long. I mean, I have a vehicle. I would stay home. He would be gone. He'd come home. You still at home? Well, if I leave, then it's going to be a problem. So if I'm at home, it's a problem too. So it was really confusing. It was like he was double-minded and very unstable. So I just kind of dealt with it. And we had this incident in public, thank God, because I honestly do believe if it hadn't happened in public, I would probably still be in that situation. Yeah, I wouldn't have had a way out. But we did have an incident in a park, and I ended up having a broken nose. I had to have reconstructive surgery, and he was arrested, and while he was in jail, I left, and I haven't been back since. So I'm grateful that I made it through that 6 months of terror. My children witnessed some of it, and I had to deal with their mental mindset.
It was a shock.
Yeah, I mean, because they didn't understand, okay, my mom has always been tough and strong,
and that's a moment of vulnerability.
Right, they saw me weak and vulnerable and just beat down, and I looked like I had been through some things, scars from head to toe, permanent bruises. I mean, just of course, broken nose. But yeah, if you can get out, just get out as soon as you can, because it'll be, if you don't, you keep telling yourself, well, he really loves me, or you try to fix it, like, what can I do different or make him love me more? It's nothing you can do, because it's not your fault, it's that person's fault, and they need help.
So with that, because I'm pretty sure it happens all the time, like, what resources or people, I mean, what would you recommend for someone like in that situation?
Well, For me, I did seek help from my pastor at church and his wife. And then there are other avenues that can be visited. You know, you can go to the, what is it called, the shelter to get away if you don't have anywhere else to go. You can call the domestic abuse hotlines in your local area, but you know, or just tell somebody.
I think that communication is everything. I feel like a lot of times people just don't say anything.
And that was me.
And then like when it really comes to the point where it's about to explode, I mean that's when it boom, and it's like I didn't know all this was happening.
And that's exactly my story. Hey, I didn't know. Even my people at church, my church family, were like, you would come here and you would sit in church and smile and you know, and we never knew anything. He'd be sitting right beside you.
Yeah, and then that just makes it that much even more harder to be like, because in perspective, like also looking in, everything looks like it's okay.
Yeah, you have to, like they say, fake in front to make it. Because if I said anything, I would get threatened. You know, you better not embarrass me up here at this church. If you can't cover up that scar, then we're not going to church. Put some lipstick on your lip to cover up that busted lip. You know, all that stuff I dealt with, but I didn't want to miss church. That was my safe haven. The Word of God was what helped me get through all of that, and His promises to me. You know.
So it's almost like the pressure of, like, the what if, like, if you would actually say something, how
it became one of those, you know, he couldn't even approach me to try to give me a hug. I'm like, you know, just, it's really scary. But, yeah, I felt stuck. Because I wouldn't tell anybody. I wouldn't tell my dad, because I know he would be trying to do some crazy stuff, you know, and I don't need him in jail behind me. So I just I wrote in my journal, prayed to God, and I just waited. And He gave me the answer. I had to suffer a broken nose, but I'm alive to be able to share my story, and I hope it can help somebody.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, it sounds like communication is like the biggest thing to really, you know, stop what's going on.
Right.
And it also sounds like not being afraid of the reaction of you just speaking out. Because I feel like that's even with like not only domestic violence, but anything that happens in somebody's life.
Yeah.
Just speaking out. Because you know something, you know this is not right, but just refusing to say something because you don't want whatever, let's say, judgment or whatever, what should happen to that person that's causing harm to you to be justified, and then I guess other people's reaction can all kind of make you more hesitant from making the right decision.
Definitely. For me, it was more like I didn't want to be blamed for him going to jail or him being prosecuted or whatever, judged or whatever. But at the same time, I had to think about my children. It wasn't even about me anymore. It was about my children having a mom to be there. Because I'm 100% mom.
Now with this said, I want to hit on this before we go to the next segment. Do you feel like some ladies hold on to that male figure just so they have the presentation of a the father and a mother together, even though there's harm to her?
I do believe that in most cases I feel like a woman will hold on to a male or, you know, a boyfriend, husband, just because they may not have had that figure growing up, a father figure growing up. For me, I had my dad and my mom together, still together, you know, and I felt like I knew better, like this is not right, you know, but I felt bad for him because he didn't grow up like I did. He didn't have his dad, the mom.
So
whatever.
It sounds like, I guess, like that hope that
it's a pity, like you pity him.
I can change him.
Right, and that exactly. Chris, how do you know? Are you in my brain?
No. I'm just like listening. I'm really still giving this look. But I'm just like, this is not the only time I heard that. So it's like, and plus I read a lot of different books. So like as I'm listening to like your responses, it kind of sounds like, I'm not one obviously, but it's like that hope. Yeah. A little goofy. That hope that they can change him into the better person that they want. And that's not the case because in the day, that person has to make that decision.
Exactly, that he has to want to change, or she, because there's some men that are abused as well. But yeah, it has to be a conscious decision on that person's part, mentally, in the heart, to just want to be different or love better. And I just didn't get that. Now it's a different story. Oh, I love you. No, sir, we're done. Don't go back. That's another thing. Ladies, don't go back. Because you may not make it out the next time.
So great information on that. Yeah, listen to your conscience, and then if you know you're in a bad situation, get out.
Yes.
Like, don't hesitate. So yeah, counts. So with that, we're going to go to our little last segment on inspiration and much more, as we provide you great value information to make your life better and just be aware of certain situations and much more.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome back to the last little segment, and we're going to hit more on the inspirational side. Let's find out what's her drive and how she pounces on her dreams. Yeah, I took the words off your shirt.
I love it.
So what is your main drive to keep you going on a day-to-day basis?
First and foremost, I'm going to always refer to this, my faith. I'm following what God put in my spirit. And then secondly, my children. They inspire me more than anything or anybody, because I want to leave something behind for them. At this point, none of them will ever have to have a job for anybody else, because Rabbit Twisted will be available for them. Now, we've gone through a lot, me and my boys and my baby girl, but yeah, they drive me to do everything that I do.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my inspiration.
Yeah, the kids are always the drive force to move it forward, keep it going.
Yes.
Yes. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. They will put me at 42. I'll be a millionaire.
Okay.
And Rabbit Twisted will be nationwide.
Okay.
And I will have a big wholesale store here in Huntsville for all those t-shirt makers and tumbler makers, all of that. I'll have everything you need here in Huntsville.
And some.
And some. And then, I'll have kids graduating high school, and I'll be living my best life, Chris, in 5 years. So, yeah, that's where I see myself and Rabbit Twisted in the next 5 years.
Awesome. Do you look up to any person, individual, I guess speakers, read a book? I mean, what books are kind of inspiring you to keep going as well?
Honestly, for me, yeah, I'm a movie buff,
Okay, another movie.
Biographies are one of my favorite type of movies to watch. Tina Turner.
Okay.
She definitely is an inspiration to me, because we have a similar story. I mean, she might have got it worse than me, but either way, domestic violence is real. And she made it out of it, and she was successful after it. And, she just really inspires me to keep pushing. And she's beautiful.
Well,
in her 80s, she's beautiful. So I feel like I should be beautiful in my 80s as well.
She's feeling that. I can tell. She's just putting emphasis on.
I'm just saying, but yeah, I look up to her for inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna throw a little twist, as you would say.
Twist it up.
Mm-hmm. Define your version of beauty.
Define my version of beauty. Just be true to yourself.
Okay.
Beauty is not necessarily the physical aspect or what people see. It's what you exude from the inside. So if you have a great personality and characteristics and a good heart, and I think you're beautiful right off the bat. So, yeah, it's from inside out. Yeah, because what's in you will come out. So if you're ugly on the inside,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So I want to hit you with is how important it is to stay around positive influences, especially with the internet age.
It's 100% It's the best thing to do, because people are easily swayed. Yeah. So if you surround yourself with positive, productive, successful people, then chances are you'll be positive.
The average or
At least, positive. But if you surround yourself with negativity and people who just always have something ill will to say or have
excuses,
they're everywhere. But I think it's very key to have a good positive circle to be with. So, yeah.
Yep. And I think, let's say, last little question is...
Hit me.
Very simple. Where can they find me?
I can be found on Facebook at Rapid Twisted T-Shirt Studios or under Adrienne Lewis. Also, Instagram at T-Shirt Lady 21. And right here in Huntsville, Texas, on 2804 Lake Road, number 4, inside of Generation Salon. Well, that's where I'm at.
That's pretty much final information, so they don't find you anymore. No,
come get your Pounce T-shirts.
Pounce on your dreams.
It's Pounce on your dreams.
If they use that hashtag and it blows up, everybody get all kinds of
credit. I think I might put a hashtag on that. Hashtag Pounce.
Boom. So with that said, we're going to wrap it up on another episode of Next Level Thinking. As you know, your host, Chris Holmes, always giving you valuable content and inspiring guests, and my inspired guest by the name of
Adrienne Miles.
As we pounce on the dreams.
Pounce on the dreams.
And we're out. And my big head fits.
Bravo. Oh, I'm sorry.
You good?
I'm good. I'm great. Let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back.